Alright. And I don't know what details you took down from that long night. But alright. So this is gonna be your potion. And I'm just gonna laugh. So you're wanting to make a fighting game based off of Castlevania. You're calling it Castlevania Off the Chain.
And I am using right now the Mugen engine because Mugen, I can do that.
See, you just lost like 500 people trying the game just because you mentioned Mugen. Yes.
Well, I am hoping that I can find some kind of way. I am taking programming. I've reached into Visual Basic, and I will be getting into C++ and all that, and then I'll venture into game programming very soon after that. But until then, my only experience at the moment is with Mugen. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, with these skills, I can at the very least draw out the sprites and animate them. And, right, and I was sitting there and I was playing through all the Castlevanias. It actually got started with me playing the Castlevania games. And it started with a guy in Columbus named Random. He challenged me to Simon's Quest. He dared me to play it and finish it. I did.
Castlevania 2?
Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. That game is impossible, by the way. I did not beat it without a strategy guide. I downloaded...
They have a curse, man.
I had to download a strategy guide, and I could not believe the amount of absurd things. Like, I could not tell what the developers were thinking. Anyway, it started with that. After playing Simon's Quest, I got curious as to who Simon was, because while I was playing the game, I really didn't care. But I was thinking about all the Belmonts and stuff, and I was like, was Simon a Belmont? So I go and research the Castlevania timeline, and I start researching these characters, and in my research, I found some of these characters to be very interesting, because in some of the things I read up on were some of their combat abilities, and I was like, really now? So I continued to read up on it, then I was like, I should probably play more of these. So I went ahead and downloaded like every possible Castlevania ROM I possibly could, and play. I did play Symphony of the Night first, actually. Let me go ahead and clear that up right now. I played supposedly what's known as the best one first.
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night. But other than that, I had never played any other ones. So I went ahead, after Simon's Quest, downloaded every other ROM, and then had to try those out. And I come to find out, I actually liked all of them. I hadn't finished all of them, but I come to like every last one of them that I have played, except Simon's Quest and the N64 versions of the games. You don't know nothing about that Bloody Tears. So anyway, moving on.
Bloody Tears, get out of here.
Doesn't matter. It's all great music, actually. So moving on. After I went through and played all of them. Again, I didn't beat them, but I did play thoroughly through those games to get to know these characters a little bit more about their personality and even combat personality. I'm sitting here and I'm picturing myself redrawing all the sprites for a fighting game, a 2D fighting game engine, something that's that can represent something like Melty Blood or Guilty Gear-ish with the air dashing and the multiple jumps and what have you. And I'm looking at all these characters and actually thinking about giving them normals. Well, with the mechanics, I was gonna have them, play like, fighting game characters. They will have normals like punches and kicks, but like very stylish and what have you, because they have great fighting powers and whatever. So, and then I was thinking, for an example, their whip attacks, like Juiced Belmont, Juste, however you will pronounce his name. He will have whip attacks that will be like Rekka's. So if you were to press quarter circle forward and then follow it up 3 more times, those would be his whip attacks, a la Iori or Kyo from the King of Fighters games, or even Fei Long if you know the character Fei Long more intimately than any of the KOF games.
Yeah.
Right.
People are gonna know Fei Long. I'm sorry.
And excuse me for anyone listening to this. I am a little KOF biased a bit. So. I will make more KOF references than I will with Street
Shut up!
Fighter.
You're gonna make us lose listeners.
Okay. So anyway, I was making, well, not just the records, but like the character playstyles. Those was what I was listing, and then of course I introduced this concept. It's not a project yet. All these are just concept ideas. So all of you who think that, this is going to be, a dream or a nightmare or whatever, it's going to be chaos or whatever you may think it's going to be, the project, it's until I have like a solid way of, putting it, like bringing fresh air and, blood and carbon into this game. Until then, it's nothing but concepts and ideas. And I introduced this idea to Dogi himself, jokingly, mind you. And and I'm like, yo, I'm liking these characters because Juste Belmont should be the shiznick, and I learned that there's 5 great Belmonts. And he's like, man, don't no one care about no Belmonts, man. It's all about that Shanoa. No, no. To be more accurate, he talks all this nonsense about what's her name, Charlotte. Yeah. No one cares about her. No one even cares about Jonathan Morris. And for anyone who doesn't know, they're from Portrait of Ruin. And then he's talking about how mad broke Charlotte should be, and how she should have, like, what's that game called? Scarlet something. Immaterial missing power bullet.
Immaterial missing power. Yeah, bullet hell patterns for attacks out of her book. Dude, that'd be off the chain. And then you reminded me that Shanoa exists. And I'm like, wait, Charlotte can be top tier, but Shanoa better be Shanoa tier. Kind of like right now in Street Fighter where Ryu, Balrog, and Rufus, they top tier. But
right.
Sagat tier. So yeah.
But I
was kind of liking the idea of Shanoa being able to, like, chain back dashes and then walk through the wall like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, come out the other side, spam her normals, which is going to be like daggers that go full screen and give you mad advantage on block, because she should know it's here, mind you. But of course, this is all alternate ideas, so that's...
No. See how he just encourages me to use the Mugen engine? How a character should be so absurdly broken, like, just mindlessly at that?
What?
Like,
block?
You can block what? And she's gonna have like plus 500 advantage. Get out of here.
It doesn't have to be 500.
That's what you told me.
It could be 247. It'll work.
No, it won't. Get that out of here. Shanoa's got the Castlevania fans going. In fact, I've been checking out online a lot about how Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, or Elsia, however you pronounce it, versus Symphony of the Night, which of the two is actually better, because apparently now I'll just call it Order
of Ecclesia.
Ecclesia.
They actually say it in the game,
okay.
In the DS game.
All right. Well, Order of Ecclesia, some argue that it's even bested Symphony of the Night. And if it's gotten that much, noise about it, then, whether you agree or don't agree, there's credit to it, to that kind of scope for Order of Ecclesia. And a lot of that comes from Shanoa just being a bad character. Like, not a bad character, but just, a bad-ass character. Like, just one that's just so over the top, being able to cancel anything and anything, being able to fly, and all this other nonsense.
Sorry, I like Ignis. It was so cool. Ignis backdash. Shanoa canceling.
Right, Shanoa canceling. Everyone, this is Dogi's idea. Pi dashing. 3.14. 3.14 dashing.
Yeah, man.
He told me to add that for Shanoa's mechanics. And I'm like, get out of here.
Square dashing, you got circle dashing, hexagon dashing, and pi dashing. How do you beat that? You don't.
Get out of here.
You don't.
And in fact, let me pull up my Castlevania off the chain notes for what I do have and what I'm working on, because I just went back and revisited some of those games.